This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 423.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash. 404 error. Page not found. Links aren't working. System is crashing. System is crashing. System is crashing.
Your old HTML website. Barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website. Better than it was before. Better. Stronger. Faster.
Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, first and foremost, upcoming events. Guess what? We actually have events coming up in person, starting off with WordCamp Genève, April 9th, one-day camp. Again, like I just said, it's in person. I'm so happy for people to get to go. I wish I could go. WordCamp Athens is also the next weekend, April 9th and 10th. And finally, the Raleigh WordPress Meetup is going to happen also in person April 20th. I'm putting it out there in case you're in the area or you want to come to the area. Go to meetup.com or ask me, or I'll put a link in the show notes, of course. We're going to keep it down to 20 people based on the space requirements or limitations, but there's more space next door. Then we're going to go just talk WordPress for like an hour and then have some food and drinks next door up in the co-working space that I go to from time to time. So excited. So excited. Anyway, that's awesome. Two WordCamps plus the meetup in person. I am really quite happy. Could you tell? Can you tell? Anyway, all right, moving on. Segment one in the news. A lot to talk about here in the news. First of all, WordCamp Asia 2023 has been set tentatively for February 7th through 19th in Bangkok, Thailand. So it's going to be the inaugural flagship WordCamp. It was originally scheduled for March of 2020, but of course it was canceled due to the pandemic. So it's been tentatively reset and scheduled for February 17th through 19th next year. That's awesome. I wonder if I can make that. That'd be cool. Anyway, so also in the news, Weglot has raised 45 million euros from Partech Partners. That's 49 million US dollars. In case you don't know, Weglot is the popular multilingual plugin. Pretty cool stuff there. Also on the WordCamp, back to the WordCamp things, WordCamp US 2022, which is set for, I think it's September 9th through 11th. They are having a current call for speakers, which closes on April 17th, about a week and a half or so, 2 weeks from the recording of this episode. Yeah, so it's also in person and streaming, but they're looking for speakers. So check that out if you're interested in speaking. And what else is in? Oh yeah, last thing in the news here, WP Migrate 2.3 was released, and it's no longer called WP Migrate DB PRO. It's just called WP Migrate. A couple things there. I mean, it's a great tool. It really is. They now do database-less migration, so you don't have to have a database to migrate. Subsite to subsite, easier setup, less hassle, and the name change. And the name change makes sense because I guess a question was put out by the team on Twitter last year, and it was time to say, hey, we do more than just databases. So that's why there's a video explaining that as well. Link in the show notes there. I think that's in the news. Yep, that's it in the news. And before I move on to segment 2, the meat potatoes, I want to say thanks to this week's sponsor, WP Wallet. Now, WP Wallet is the simple, really, intelligent tool that helps WordPress professionals like you and myself effortlessly manage all your license keys and invoices for your sites and clients. Okay, with WP Wallet, your days of confusing spreadsheets, missed renewals, and forgotten reimbursements are over. WP Wallet automates the tracking of your premium plugins and lets you set up recurring automated invoice to get reimbursed by your clients. So if you buy something for them, you can get paid for it as well. So I signed up recently and was really blown away how easy it was to set up. 2 clicks, really. I clicked Add Domain, entered my domain, and I added the domain name and clicked Smart Scan. The system then takes over, scans the site, adding all the plugins and the themes it finds. Plus, it compares it against a database of premium services and adds that price to the listing as well. Really, really wicked cool. And if it didn't see that it was a premium plugin, you can actually modify that. So you can go in and put a price in there. You can also put your serial number in there. Really, really easy to do. So, perhaps you scored a lifetime deal, the LTD back on AppSumo, right? So you can update that as well. You could add partners. It's really cool. Licenses, like I said, if you want to add that, WP Wallet has you covered. So it's free. There's a free level and a paid level, but go ahead, sign up for free. Check it out. It's over at WPWallet.com. Once again, WPWallet.com. Thanks for sponsoring this week's episode, and we really do appreciate it. All right, now moving over to segment 2, the meat potatoes of this week's episode. It's a QA time. It's been 8 weeks, and here we go. I have 4 or 5 questions this week. A lot of questions came came in, excuse me. So first and foremost, this one's sent in by SG. Oh yeah, okay, SG. How many administrators should I have on my site? So easy answer, 1. Okay, next question. I'm kidding, there's more there. Seriously, there should be 1 admin, technically speaking. Best practice, 1. Everyone else would have a certain role with rights associated with that, be it subscriber, editor, etc. But it's probably not going to be admin. They don't need to have more and more admin. But that's not how things are in the real world. So with that said, I say as many as you really need and no more than that. Also, keep in mind, if and when people leave an organization, someone needs to go in and update the access to the site, remembering to assign any content created by that user to someone else if you're deleting the actual account. Because, trust me on this, I learned this the hard way, if you don't assign the content created to somebody else, even page creation, not even a blog post, all that content is lost. I did this once way back in the day, total rookie mistake, my bad, and it sucks. So I say 1 admin if you can get away with that, and everyone else can have certain roles and in different levels. You can do customized roles as well. There's a plugin for that. User preferences, not user. I can't think of what it's called, but someone's yelling. It's called this. I don't know off the top of my head, but you do use it. Custom profile builder, I think is what it's called, maybe. Anyway. Yeah, you don't need more than 1, but obviously you're going to have people with multiple admins. I've seen as many as 30. Too many. That's way too many. I mean, I don't know, SG 2, 3, 4, but not everyone needs to be an admin. That is for sure. Okay. Second question here. This is asked by Mark. Is there a best practice for where to put CSS? Ooh, great question. And ironically enough, we just did some work on a site that had 8,000 lines of CSS in the customizer. So that said, I say customizer wasn't meant to be used for that much CSS. If you're going to, I think it's maybe a couple lines, couple hundred, I don't know what the number would be, but you get to 8,000 lines of CSS. I think the best practice is a child theme plus add it to the styles.css file. Personally, that's what I would say. Because you can always put CSS in the theme, in different settings in the theme, but just sometimes it's too many places to track. Put it in one place, really. And then if you have a couple of lines that you just want to add real quick, that could be in the additional CSS, right, in the customizer. All right. Next question comes in from, I don't have a name on this one. I don't know. But the question is, do I have to update WP Core every time a new one comes out? Okay. Also, easy answer, no, you don't. But you're much more likely to miss out on new features, functionality, and the security updates and patches that those new WP WordPress core features that are rolled out. So again, I recommend, and best practice is maybe not update first day, maybe also update on have a backup of your site, as we always say, and maybe test it on a staging server. Okay, so there you go. You do not have to, but inevitably you're going to benefit by doing it sooner than later, just for the security aspect of it. Okay. Here's another question. Oh, this one's from Harry. When is it time to update or change a theme? Well, interesting question. Easy answer. Like the saying kind of goes back. It reminds me of the saying, if you ask how much, you can't afford it. Same here. If you're asking, then it's probably time. But then I reached out to Harry and I said, let me get some more information. And the actual answers are, in my opinion, if the theme is causing issues, no longer supported, deprecated code, has not been updated to work with the latest version of PHP, which is a big deal, or plugins, if things are breaking, it's time to update the theme. Also, styles change. As far as visual styles change. If the theme can't handle that, if the theme is forcing you to have a left column, right column, or gutters and stuff, if you can't go full screen, if the theme isn't responsive, which is crazy to think, but some themes don't have that. They're old themes. It happens, right? And certain platforms, not platforms, but page builders, if you will, the old, I don't know what they're called. I guess page builders, but more of I can't think of the right word here, but you get the gist. If you're asking, it's probably time. If it doesn't work, that things you want to do for functionality or from a design perspective, it's time. If it's no longer being supported, deprecated code, PHP support, etc. So there you go. That's what we do. And then based on a general broad stroke, 18 months, I always tell clients to start thinking about a refresh every 18 months, because then the time they get to it, it's been 24 months, it's been 2 years. And again, styles and design change. And I think that's a good time frame as well, about 2 years. So, and the last question this week is sent in by Jen. Now that COVID restrictions are lifting and in-person events are starting up, what's some favorite swag or new ideas for branding products in the WordPress space? No idea. I have no idea, Jen. I'm honest. But I would love some ideas. If anyone out there wants to send in some ideas and share with me, I will share them with Jen and I will mention them on next podcast or whenever it comes in, maybe the next Q&A or just some update podcast. I don't know. I'll share it somewhere, somehow, because we may have a WordCamp Raleigh still this year. It's still very possible, and we are looking for some ideas for branding products and swag, etc. So there you go. All right. Those are some great questions. Awesome. I'm so happy with that. All right. Moving on. Segment 3, tip until the week. This week's tip, it's a website and it's a service called Leave Me Alone app. It is, you get to see all of your newsletters in one place and then subscribe from them as well. And there's a free, it's a free level. Let me double check here. Yeah. Pricing. There's a 7-day pass for $7, a casual emailer for $9 for the month, and a $16 a month that does you a whole lot more. You can add all blacklists, etc. But someone shared this with me. I wanted to share it with you. I have no connection to them, and I have not tried it yet. But if you're trying to get less junk in your inbox, check that out. It's over at leavemealone.app. Yeah, that's it right there. Check it out. Pretty cool looking. All right. Well, that is it for this week. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@kitchensinkwp.com, or use the speak pipe function on the website. You can support the show, become a Patreon. I would love that. kitchensinkwp.com/Patreon. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do that too, just like WP Wallet did. There's a form on the website. Again, thanks to WP Wallet for sponsoring this week's episode. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right. Bye-bye.